Hello everyone, this is Miss Sayed and welcome to a new vocabulary lesson. Today inshallah we're going to discuss all the vocabulary relating to argument and debate. For today's objective, what we are learning. We're going to learn use context clues to figure out the meaning of the words or the phrases mentioned. What does it mean? It means that the overall meaning of a sentence or paragraph, a word's position or function in a sentence. We have learned that using context clue, the word intended here sometimes is followed with examples, with other synonyms, with definitions, or it can be preceded with it. Okay, so find those clues. But what do we mean by a debate? In a debate, there are two sides. If both make a good argument, then the less popular side wins because that side had further to go to prove its point. Now, when your argument is not appealing enough or weak, you will try harder to support it with the evidence, to convince or persuade the other side with your own point of view. A picture is worth a thousand words. What does it mean? Here, this presentation doesn't include any pictures, but I need you to create a mental image. Try to visualize the word in context in order to understand its meaning. Let's inspect our first word. Apologist. Apologist, psychologist, receptionist. What are these words? So the ist here, that's a suffix. The suffix contributes with what? With person, with people doing the action. So when I refer to this person here, that's an adjective or nouns. Of course they are nouns. When I say apologist, psychologist, receptionist, these are people, these are nouns. Let's inspect the word in context. For the first example, the apologist for the striking players argued that they were only asking for their fair share of the wealth they helped bringing in. Okay, so here the apologist is a person who speaks in behalf for the other players. Okay, so he's merely like what? A representative or the spokesperson of a group of people. And what does that apologist do? He argues, he represents, okay, his own point of view or his group or team or party point of view. So apologist here, the initial definition that we have figured out, yes, representative or spokesperson. Now let's inspect more, dig deeper. He, in short, advocates an ethical theism, and his arguments presented by the apologist of his team. Okay, the apologist is a person presents argument in behalf of a group of people. So far so good. Now, are we on the right track? I guess so. So apologist here, that's a noun. It's from Greek apologia. What does it mean? It's a speech in defense of a person or an idea. Apologia here means a speech in defense of a person or an idea. So what's the definition of the word? An apologist is a person who speaks in defense of a person or an idea or a position. So the synonym can be a justifier, or the antonym can be Nothing. It can be an opponent or anything. But here I need you to focus on the word itself. Okay? And its root. Moving to the next word. Dissuade. I don't know what part of a speech it is. Let's figure it out from the context itself. The experienced camper tried to dissuade the 11-year-old from attempting to the difficult hike. So, try to. Whatever comes after to try to comes a verb in the infinitive form. So, dissuade here is a what? Yeah, so we have a winner. That's a verb. That's an action. You are trying to do it. Okay, so experienced means a man with many experiences, old enough, mature enough to understand the consequences of his action. 11 year, it means he is young. From attempting the difficult hike. So difficult task will dissuade him. Dissuade means encourage him or discourage him. Yes, of course, it means to discourage that person. Okay. For the next context, Philip, to whom he had shown the proof sheets, had tried to dissuade Nathan from publishing his performance. So, he tried to dissuade Nathan from publishing his performance because Philip what? To whom he had shown the proof sheets. So, he tried to convince him to do something that is going to be stupid. So, that's what? Dissuade, that's a verb. From Latin, this here, that's a prefix, means what? Not. Suadere. I'm not 100% accurate with my Latin pronunciation, okay? But here it means to advise. So not advise. So the definition for the word to, again, discourage from doing something through persuasion. Like here in the last one, he tried to use these sheets, he used experience to persuade the other person or the other part from doing something. Okay, so discourage them. So the synonym would be to deter, hinder, block. The synonym, of course, to persuade. Dissuade here, that's a verb. Of course, you are familiar with its derivative. Can be ending with ing, dissuading, or ed as the past or past participle. Moving forward to the next word, dupe. I guess you are familiar with this word. We use it mainly in insults. Okay, but let's figure it out its meaning from context. When the couple saw that the vacation home they had rented was in a swamp, they realized that they had been duped. So, had been duped here, that's part of this verb phrase. So, duped here comes in the past participle, so in the given context, it's a verb. Okay, so that's the part of a speech. Let's figure out its meaning. What is the definition? Now the couple rent a house that was in a swamp. So they realized they had been duped. Like when when you try to order something from online and you receive something else, a return, like bad quality, bad material, low price, broken anything. Like you ordered an iPhone and you have received Samsung, an old version, or iPhone, actually you received something trivial, whatever. So you have been duped. Again, you have been scammed, you have been deceived, you have been fooled. I guess. So let's figure out the other context. Because he was too trusting, Mel became the dupe of dishonest financial advisors who got him to interest in a phony get-rich-quick scheme. Like, for example, invest in that stock and you will get rich, you will get 200% profit in anything. That's a quick, get-quick-rich scheme. Okay, Mel became the dupe. Okay, the, whatever comes after the or a or an, that's an adjective or a noun. Okay, the dupe of, dupe of, dupe of. Here's the dupe is what? It's a noun, not a verb in this particular context. So dupe can be a verb and can be also a noun. That's about the context clue. So we have here learned that duped means to being fooled, being stupefied. Okay, now here, he is too trusting, he is too credulous. He became the dupe of the dishonest financial advisor. So he became what? The foolish one. Okay, well, let's move forward. So dupe here, that's a verb and noun. That's from Old French, probably. Dupe means a foolish looking bird. A foolish looking bird. So, as a verb, to take advantage of people by tricking or fooling them. As a noun, someone tricked and taken advantage of. So the synonym for dupe means to fool or as a fool. A noun to be victim or as a verb to victimize. And of course, recap one of the roots, credulous. The dupe is a credulous person. For the antonym, the victimizer. You are a victim, so the antonym, the person that takes advantages of you, is a victimizer. Dupe here as a verb, it can be ended with a d as the past or past participle of it. Now, let's move to the next word, fallacy. It's a fallacy to think that the best candidate will always win the election. It's a fallacy to think that the best candidate. Okay, so the fallacy means there are too many complications, too many processes, too many procedures for a candidate to win. Not always the best wins. Well, if you recall history or current news, you will understand what I mean. So the fallacy here means that is stupidness or foolishness. The talk show host lost viewer confidence because his arguments were often full of fallacies. Now, in both contexts, the word fallacy here is presented after a, after of, and here both of them come as a noun in both contexts. Okay, so the host here lost the confidence of other people because all of his arguments, all of his evidences are fallacies. It means that they are all false. Okay, let's check our understanding. So fallacy here, that's a noun from Latin fallere. It means to deceive. So the definition is a false belief or faulty and illogical reasoning. Okay, it means false or have illogical reason. So synonym can be misconception or fiction. Fiction means something not real. Remember that fallacy is a noun. So the antonym would be realistic or logic, real, logic, argument, or a fact. The derivatives. Okay, fallacy here is a noun. If you're going to shift it to adjectives, you add the OUS, fallacious. Here, like in the given example, the debate coach pointed out the problem with Mario's fallacious reasoning. Okay, so fallacious means false or illogical reasoning. Okay, illogical, trying to make reason out of something stupid. Moving to the next word, imply. It's a very easy word. Okay, that's an antonym of explicit. We have studied before, and I guess the following word have the exact synonym. Like a frown implies unhappiness or dissatisfaction. Implies here, a frown implies, okay, again that's a verb. So imply here, that's a verb. Implies here, a frown, when you cross your eyebrows together, okay, you create a frown. That's a facial impression that indicates, oh yes, so unhappiness means indicate, implies indicate, the frown indicates unhappiness. When Dad said, you know your curfew, the implication was that we would better not be late. Curfew means you have a time limit to come, okay? For example, I'm not allowed to stay out after 10 p.m., for example. So the implication, that's a prefix that usually contributes with what? With the nouns. So imply, that's a verb. Implication, that's it's a noun. Okay, moving forward. It's from the Latin in here, or plic means fold. So the definition, to hint or suggest indirectly. So hint or to suggest indirectly. Okay? Or infer means to draw a conclusion. Again, to hint or suggest indirectly, it means you don't say it like I am angry. I don't say I'm angry, I just frown. Okay? I don't say you remember your curfew. It means that don't be late. Okay? So you can infer from it. So imply means indicate or suggest. The antonym is express, declare. Okay? The derivative, as we mentioned, implication. The next word. Indisputable. Indisputable. Very easy to determine what part of a speech it is. Able here, that contributes with the adjectives. Okay, indisputable. And in here, okay, that's a prefix, refers to not. But let's make sure. The indisputable evidence established the defendant's guilt and brought about his conviction. Indisputable evidence. So, it's something you can deny? No. The evidence was clear, was proven, was, yes, irrefutable. Irrefutable. It was certain, and it was obvious, it was clear. So, such an unlikely spot for a home site, yet the remains of chimney gave indisputable proof that one had exited at some point. Okay, like here, like Sherlock Holmes following clues, and he found some steps or some marks on the chimney that prove that. So indisputable proof, indisputable evidence, it means that irrefutable, unquestionable, uncontroversial part. So let's figure out if we are correct. It's an adjective. It's from Latin, means not disputare, or I'm not sure with the pronunciation. To dispute. So the definition here, beyond doubt or question, it means it is certain. So indisputable means true, undeniable, undoubted, irrefutable, obvious, real, certain. So the antonym, of course, would be dubious. You remember the word? That's from, you have studied it in the prefixes before. Something that's questionable. So indisputably, by adding the ly, you shifted to the adverb. Adding the ness at the end, you shift the adjective into the noun. Following the next word, infer and inference. Do you remember the word imply? Imply means infer. So I inferred from her smiling face that she was happy. So infer here, that's a verb. I infer that she had a smiling face. Last time we had a frown. Ironic, right? Yes. So the smiling face that she was happy. So I implied in the smiling face implies this. So I infer I do the action itself. It means that the smiling face implies her being happy, but I infer from her smiling face that she was happy. Do you notice the difference? The difference is in usage. After listening to the city council discuss the budget, the mayor made an inference that a tax increase was unavoidable. Okay, so made an inference. Inference here, that's the noun of the verb infer. Inference. He made an inference. He made a conclusion. He made a judgment. He made a result. Okay, that he needs to increase the taxes. Oh my god. Or increase the budget. Now, it's from the Latin ferry to bring. Okay? I'm not sure with my Latin pronunciation. If you want to check again. Okay, so to draw a conclusion from an evidence. So you need an evidence. Is to conclude, to deduce, or to argue. The antonym, of course, would be anticipate. Anticipate means I think, I believe, I trust, maybe, and so on. It means that you're not 100% accurate. You're not sure with your decision because it's not based on evidence. To assume something, to guess it. So the derivative will be infer, that's in the past, inference, that's the noun. Red herring. It's a very unusual word, right? Yes. But red usually has a negative connotation, right? Okay. Let's try to prove its guilt. The campaign's focus on candidates' likability was a red herring meant to distract voters from his lack of experience and shady past. Oh my god. Distract us. It's meant to distract us. So, red herring here is what? I guess that's a kind of smoked salmon or something, or a kind of fish. Ah, but here it is what? Again, a red herring, that's a noun. Okay, we have established the part of the speech. But let's try its meaning. That's a way that's meant to distract something. Okay, that's our first clue. Let's try to dig deep or to assure ourselves. The book is fast-paced, exciting, and full of red herring. It's not convincing. It's fast-paced, exciting. Okay, so far so good. Full of red herrings. Okay, something to draw the attention or distract the attention. I don't know. So I need to check my dictionary. Red herring here, it's a noun. Alright. It's something that draws attention away from the main issue. Something that draws attention away from the main issue. That's why the fast pace of a story. Yes, when you speak fast, it means that you are lying. What's that mean? So the synonym is to blind or deception. It's a blind or deception. Blindness. Truth, the antonym. Helping. Guiding. Of course, we don't have any, that's an expression by itself. Refute. We have mentioned this word before when I said that something is, come on, do you remember? Indisputable. We said that it is refutable. So you cannot refutate. You cannot do it. So refute here when, with a few well-chosen words, she completely refuted his argument. Refuted here comes in the past, so it's a verb by itself. Okay, thank you so much. We have established the part of speech. Now let's figure out the meaning of the word. Refuted his argument. Well-chosen word. She completely refuted his argument. It means that she opposed his argument. Very nice. Jared's thoughtful refutation of my argument made me realize that I was wrong. Okay, again, the word refute contributes with the word argument. So refutation here, ation, that's a noun. So the refutation here, this one part is a noun. But both of them contribute with the word argument. Okay, but refutation over argument, it means that I argue someone and Jared refutes it. Okay, or refute my argument and made me realize that I was wrong. So his refutation means his counter argument. So the refutation here, I refer to it as a counter argument. So far so good. Let's check our dictionaries. Oh my god, I have another derivative. Okay, indisputable, irrefutable. I have mentioned it, but I have forgot to state it. Like conclusions based on faulty reasoning are easily refutable. If they are irrefutable, like irresponsible, irregular, that's a prefixes that means not. Irrefutable, it means what? Indisputable. Okay, so refutable here, that's an adjective. Okay, that means disputable. Amazing. The verb here, means against, future, to put forth. Okay, like the word future. To prove to be false or invalid. To deny the accuracy or truth of something. Okay, to question it. To negative it, to disprove it, or to prove it, to confirm it. The derivative as an adjective, refutable, as a noun, refutation. Next word, substantiate, substantiation. It's pretty obvious. Substantiate, that's a verb. Substantiation, that's a noun. Okay, let's use them in context. The receipt served as substantiation that he had purchased the diamond ring. So, I want to prove that I have bought something, so I need a receipt. So, that's a substantiation. So, it's a what? Proof. It's a what? Evidence. Right? Let's check more. Please substantiate the arguments in your paper with statistics, quotations from credible sources and authorities. So I need to substantiate the argument with statistics, means numbers, paper, quotations were said by someone, people who are in charge. So substantiate, it means to prove, to support. Okay, so let's check the dictionary to make sure that our comprehension is right. Noun and verb, sub means under, stainer means sustained. To support with evidence, excellent. To verify, substantiate, to verify, justify, to authenticate. Authenticate, that's one of the relating words. Verify, justify, authenticate. Verify, justify, authenticate. Try to remember them. So the antonym would be, of course, refute, to stand against it. Okay? Disprove or break. Substantial, that's a substantial proof, Your Honor, that our convicted criminal is guilty. Substantially, that's of course the adjective. Thank you for listening. Study hard and stay safe.